Hey you, welcome back. I am Nat from Nat's Numbers, also known as the Numerology Chick over on Instagram. Let's dive in, you guys. We are going to be talking about how to find the right house, how to choose the right house numbers for your next living situation. I had a client of mine text me yesterday and he's like, Nat, I'm buying a new house. How do I make sure that I buy the right one based on my numbers? So if you're curious about this, please stay tuned. I'm going to share with you my top 3 tips to make sure that you choose the right house number for you. Okay? Now, if you're enjoying these Friday morning uploads and you want to support this work and you want more of this content, please share the love. You subscribers make such a big difference. So like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you so much. All right, let's dive in. Now I'm going to put timestamps in the description box for those of you that want to jump ahead, but I want to warn you, okay? I want to warn you that the 3 tips that I have for you today are in order. And if you skip one of them, then you might be actually sabotaging your ability to truly manifest the best living situation and the best home, okay? Numerology is an incredible tradition of wisdom that can actually be used to disempower and victimize you. And so I've designed this protocol to make sure that you don't do that, to make sure that you don't turn it into a false superstitious art. Superstition defined as the belief that, like, numbers, for instance, are these forces that are enacting our fate. No, that's not what numerology is about at all. So let's dive right in. Tip number 1 is to reconnect to your relationship with the 0. That's what I call God, your creator, or the universe. Reconnect to your relationship with the 0 by getting clear on your vision for your future and voicing that request to your creator. This is so incredibly important, okay? The 0 point field, or the universe, responds to our intentions, okay? We were given the power of will. We are given the power of our own focus, and the universe responds to that. So we have to make sure that we're being crystal clear about what matters to us. So what I want you to do is get clear about what is your vision for your future? What is the next level in your living situation? And write it down. Make the request to the universe. Say, universe, 0 point field, I want to find a house that fill in the blank. I recommend choosing like your top 5 non-negotiables, the top 5 things that you know that you need to feel that you are growing and progressing and up-leveling in your life. And I highly recommend for you to take a look at the core numbers in your chart, okay? In particular, your life path and your expression number. If you don't know your core numbers, that's okay. There's always a link in the description box to a free numerology report where you'll get kind of like a beginner's guide to the main numbers in your chart. Your life path number describes your great work and your purpose in this world. It's really important that you reconnect to that. You reconnect to this purpose, this mission. I'm an 8 life path. So when we moved into this new house, I knew I needed my own office space, right? My work is so important to me. Like even before COVID, my work is so important to me. I'm constantly thinking, I'm constantly brainstorming, I'm constantly wanting to like grow my business and contribute more. I need my own office space. If you're a 2 life path, the peacemaker, you might need a house that is about peace and serenity. Maybe you need your own meditation nook or your own yoga room. Maybe you need it to be surrounded by trees and birds and rose bushes, okay? So really get clear on and remind yourself of what your great work is and what your purpose is, and add some of those things to your request list to the universe. I also want you to revisit your expression number. Your expression number is talking about your greatest gifts that you were given. And it's so important to make sure that this house is going to be supporting those gifts. So let me give you an example. Like if you're a 7 expression number, okay, you're somebody that needs your hermit time, your solitude, you need to be like reading or studying or meditating. And that's what puts you into that positive, confident state. You might need a house that's different from somebody that has a 3 expression number, that it's about socializing and partying and having fun and keeping things light, okay? So revisit your expression number number, revisit the gifts that you were given when you were born that have to be honored for you to be happy, and think about what are the things that you might need in a house to honor these gifts, okay? So this is the first tip, is to basically reconnect to your relationship, your collaborative relationship with the divine by voicing your vision for your future and keeping your own numbers in mind to make sure that the vision is in alignment with who you are. Okay, I know that was quite a mouthful. All right, tip number 2 is trust what you're attracted to. I actually recommend to clients to not crunch the numbers of the houses that they're looking at until they first check in with themselves and their own intuition, okay? And here's why. Sometimes we try to genetically engineer spiritual stuff, okay? So you might be like, ooh, I love the number 8 for me. I love money and abundance and power. And so if the house doesn't add down to 8, I don't want it. If you are connecting to your vision for the future and you're making that request to the universe in tip 1, it's not your job to necessarily make sure you find the right house number, okay? I know that sounds crazy, but the infinite intelligence behind existence knows more than you. What if you actually need the number 4 house of hard work, discipline, focus, and productivity to manifest your big dream for your future? Yeah. What if you think that you need the number 2 and you like the description of the number 2, but actually you need the number 5 if you want to find your soulmate, or if you want to strengthen the energy of your family unit, or if you want to get that promotion, right? So trust what you are just naturally attracted to, right? Trust what your heart feels guided to lean into. Remember, there are no good or bad houses. There are no good or bad numbers, okay? Every single house, every single number has its own gift that it's bringing. So trust what you're attracted to and prioritize that first, keeping in mind tip number 1, right? Making sure you're presencing your non-negotiables and the vision that you have for your future. Okay, the last tip is the most obvious one, which is once you've done tip 1, once you've done tip 2, okay, trusting what you're attracted to, then dive into tip number 3, which is get curious about the gifts that each house has to offer by calculating the numbers, okay? The way that you calculate a house number is you actually take the number address. So let's say, for instance, you live on Springbrook Road, or the house is on Springbrook Road. You don't do anything with the actual name of the street. You're just going to take the actual house number. Let's say the house number was 2,500, right? And you're going to add it down to a single digit. So 2 plus 5 plus 0 plus 0 equals 7, okay? So you're going to just keep on adding the house number. You're going to keep adding it down until you get a single digit. Now remember that there is no good or bad number. It's just that each number is bringing a gift. Each number is bringing an energy into your life. So I'm going to put in the description box every single one of the descriptions for each house number. Okay, so if your house number adds down to the number 1, that number 1 house is giving you the gift of new beginnings, of sensitivity, of innovation, and of leadership. Okay? A house adding down to the number 2 is giving you the gift of connection, peace, and balance. The 3 is the gift of creativity, joy, laughter, and self-expression. The 4 is the gift of focus, productivity, stability, hard work ethic. The 5 is the gift of freedom, fun, and adventure. The 6 is the gift of healing and harmony and family, okay? The 7 is the gift of solitude, serenity, deeper spiritual connection, and deeper knowledge. The 8 is the gift of power, of authority, of abundance. The 9 is the gift of passion, of completions, and of tapping into a higher benevolent purpose. The 11 is the gift of intuitive insight, of inspiration, of innovation. Okay? The 22 is the gift of practical vision, practical intuition, collaboration, and building dreams. And the 33 is the gift of joy, creativity, and healing. There's a big energy here of embracing your inner teacher, that everybody in the house is going to be embracing their inner teacher as well. So these are just some very, very succinct descriptions, but they give you an idea of what each house has in store for you, the gift that it's asking you to embrace like a magic wand. Now you might ask, are some of these numbers at all negative? No, every single number in numerology has its shadow, right? But the shadow is actually just there to try to attempt us to embrace a beautiful thematic in the universe, right? So you might read on some like numerology websites and things like that, like that if you're in a house that has the 4, you might struggle with like overworking and too much work, and like it's bad, right? Because it's like about work. Well, it's like, that's not the higher function of the 4. The higher function of the 4 is being productive and being focused and knowing how to utilize your resources so that you are developing a solid foundation for your future. So you might initially experience those things if you're not embracing the higher function of the number, right? The 5, right? Like sometimes people say, oh, the 5 is like in the shadow is hedonism, addiction, escaping from your problems. And it's like, no, that's the lower function, right? That's like if you're trying to actually skirt the true power of the 5, which is really about accessing freedom, fun, and adventure in a positive way, okay? So if you want me to dive more into the shadow side of each number, I was thinking about doing like a series on that because I think that would be super, super fun. So comment below if you want me to dive into that subject matter as well. And if you have any questions on the house number kind of concept, please comment below and let me know. All right, guys, I can't wait to talk with you again next week. And as always, thank you so much for being here. Bye.